want to make sure that it's going to be very peaceful with Hamas. And as you know, they've been quite rambunctious. They've been doing some shooting, and we think maybe the leadership isn't involved in that. You know, some rebels within, but either way, it's going to be handled properly. It's going to be handled toughly, but properly.
Is the ceasefire still in place?
Yeah, it is.
The IDF announced terrorists fired an anti-tank missile and gunfire towards our troops operating in the area of Rafah to dismantle terrorist infrastructure, all in accordance with the ceasefire agreement. Now, in response, the IDF began striking in the area to eliminate the threat. Just before I came on here, we actually released a statement following Hamas's violation of the ceasefire that the prime minister held a consultation with the defense minister and the heads of the security establishment and instructed them to act forcefully against terrorist targets inside of the Gaza Strip. Hamas is required to uphold its commitments to the mediators, including President Trump, to return our remaining hostages as part of this agreement. The prime minister has made it abundantly clear there will be no compromise, and Israel will spare no effort until all of our fallen hostages are home. There are 16 more hostages that need to be returned. We know that Hamas needs to be demilitarized. This is what we continue to say over and over again. This is part of the 20-point plan. Hamas cannot have any part of the future of the Gaza Strip. We must completely get rid of them. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu submitted for government approval today the permanent name of this war as the War of Redemption, in Hebrew known as Milchemet Hatkuma. It was approved by the government. It comes as Israel marks 2 years since a terrible disaster where we remember how we started in times of tragedy and how we rose up dramatically on our feet, dynamically, and returned intensive war to our enemies. The Prime Minister said last night in an interview here in Israel that Israel removed the existential threat of the Iranian axis from the Jewish state as Israel broke the deadly chokehold Iran tried to create here, establishing this national redemption project in the land of Israel and our strong and flourishing state. Prime Minister Netanyahu said on the third day of the war that we will change the face of the Middle East, and that's exactly what we did.
Are you going to Israel?
We might. We're trying to figure it out. Obviously, want to go and check on how things are going. And I think somebody from the administration is certainly going to be over there in the next few days. It might be me, but we're going to figure out how to travel there.
How confident are you that this truce can hold, given the events in Israel and Gaza over the last 24 hours?
Well, look, it's going to be complicated. I mean, the best case scenario, meaning if this thing absolutely produces that sustainable long-term peace that the president and I hope that it will, there are going to be fits and starts. There are going to be, Hamas is going to fire on Israel. Israel's going to have to respond, of course. There are going to be moments where you have people within Gaza where you're not quite sure what they're actually doing. So we think that it has the best chance for a sustainable peace. But even if it does that, it's going to have hills and valleys, and we're going to have to monitor the situation. When we talk about Hamas, you're talking about 40 different cells. It's disjointed. Some of those cells will probably honor the ceasefire. Many of those cells, as we saw some evidence of today, will not. Before we actually can ensure that Hamas is properly disarmed, that's going to require, as we know, some of these Gulf Arab states to get forces in there to actually apply some law and order and some security keeping on the ground. So I think it would be kind of absurd for the president to say, well, Hamas is going to be disarmed 3 or 4 days from now. We don't even have the security infrastructure in place, meaning the Gulf Arab states, our allies, don't have the security infrastructure in place yet to confirm that Hamas is disarmed. Until you actually go a little bit down the path of this peace mission, of this 20-point peace plan, we're not going to be able to say with confidence that every